Right now, as you watch this, there is a good chance you are about to yawn. Maybe you already did. All it took was the word. Not tiredness, not boredom, not a lack of air. Just the idea of a yawn planted quietly in your mind, and your body began to obey. That is strange if you stop and think about it. You never decided to yawn. No part of you chose it. Your jaw simply stretched wide, your chest filled, and for one long second the world blurred at the edges. It happens to everyone. It happens to babies before they are even born, still floating in the dark. And yet, after centuries of study, no one can fully agree on why you do it. You have been told the reason since you were a child. You yawn because you are tired or because your brain needs oxygen. It sounds obvious, it feels true, but the real answer is far stranger, and it reaches back millions of years into a body that was never really yours alone. Let's start with the oxygen story because it is the one almost everyone believes. The idea is simple. When you are sleepy, your breathing slows, carbon dioxide builds up, and a big yawn floods your blood with fresh oxygen. Clean and logical. There is only one problem. It isn't true. In the 1980s, a psychologist named Robert Provine decided to test it directly. He had people breathe air with extra oxygen, then air with extra carbon dioxide. If yawning were about gas exchange, these should have changed how often people yawned. They didn't. The yawns kept coming at exactly the same rate. Whatever a yawn is for, it is not a gulp of air for a starving brain. So Provine kept watching, and the more he watched, the odder it became. A yawn is not one action. It is a fixed sequence, almost a tiny ritual. Your mouth opens slowly. The muscles in your face and neck stretch to their limit. Your eyes may water, your ears may muffle, and then comes the long exhale and a strange wave of release. Once it begins, you cannot stop it halfway. Try. You can't. It is what scientists call a fixed action pattern. The same kind of hardwired sequence that makes a spider spin a web the same way every single time. You are not performing the yawn. The yawn is performing you. If oxygen isn't the answer, then what is? One of the leading ideas today is almost poetic. Your yawn is not for your lungs, it is for your brain. Researchers like Andrew Gallup have gathered evidence that yawning helps cool the brain down. Think of your brain as a powerful computer packed into a warm, sealed box. Run it too hot, and it slows, glitches, makes mistakes. When you yawn, that huge stretch of the jaw pulls fresh blood through the skull, and the deep inhale pushes cooler air across the sinuses, like opening a window in an overheating room. Studies found that people yawn more when the air around them is cool, and less when it is warm. In warmth, a yawn wouldn't help, so the body doesn't bother. Suddenly, the timing starts to make sense. You yawn as you wake, when your brain temperature is naturally rising. You yawn when you are bored, as your mind drifts and grows sluggish. You yawn before something stressful, right when you need to be sharp. Skydivers yawn before they jump. Musicians yawn before they walk on stage. It is not a sign of switching off. It may be your brain's last-second attempt to switch on. A yawn might be the closest thing you have to a reset button, and you press it without ever knowing. But here is where the story turns, because everything so far has been about you alone, inside your own skull. And a yawn refuses to stay that private. You already know what comes next. Someone across the room yawns and something tugs at you. A pull you didn't ask for. Within seconds, your own mouth is stretching, as if their yawn reached across the space and opened your jaw for them. It works through a photo, through a phone screen, through nothing but a word on paper. Reading about yawning makes people yawn. There is a real chance it is happening to you right now. Why would a private reflex leak out and spread from body to body like a spark jumping between wires? The answer pulls us out of biology and into something deeper. Contagious yawning, most researchers now believe, is a form of connection. It is empathy, made visible. When you catch someone's yawn, your brain is quietly running a simulation of their inner state, feeling a flicker of what they feel, matching your body to theirs without a single word spoken. The evidence for this is beautiful and a little unsettling. Studies show you are far more likely to catch a yawn from someone you love than from a stranger. Family first, then friends, then acquaintances. Strangers, last and weakest of all. Your susceptibility to a yawn is almost a map of who you care about, drawn in reflex. There's even research suggesting that people who score higher on measures of empathy catch yawns more easily, while those who struggle to read others' emotions often don't catch them at all. The yawn becomes a quiet test of how tightly you are wired into the people around you. And children reveal the timeline of this. Babies yawn constantly, but they do not catch yawns from others. Contagious yawning doesn't appear until around age 4 or 5, the very same age when a child's brain begins to truly understand that other people have their own thoughts and feelings. The contagion switches on at the exact moment empathy does, as if the two were always the same circuit. Think about what that really means. A yawn is not just leaking out of you by accident, it is doing a job. In a group of early humans, staying in sync mattered. If one person's brain was cooling down and drifting toward rest, it helped the whole group to drift together, to lower their guard at the same time, to wake at the same time. A yawn passing through the group was a silent tool for keeping everyone on the same rhythm. And the people most tuned into each other, the ones who caught each other's yawns most easily, were the ones most bonded. The reflex and the closeness fed each other, generation after generation. Now go back even further, past childhood, past humans entirely, because you are not the only creature who does this. Chimpanzees catch yawns from other chimps. So do bonobos and wolves and dogs. Your dog, curled at your feet, may yawn when you do, and studies suggest dogs catch yawns more from their owners than from strangers. Across millions of years and completely different species, the same strange thread appears, a yawn passing from one warm body to the next, a signal older than language, older than humanity itself. So imagine an ancient night, long before words, a small band of your ancestors huddled together in the dark. One of them yawns as the brain cools toward rest, and that yawn ripples through the group, body to body, sinking them, pulling them all gently toward sleep at the same time, keeping them together, keeping them safe. The yawn may have been one of humanity's first languages, a way to say, without a sound, I feel what you feel. We are the same. Let us rest as one. That is what makes the yawn so quietly remarkable. It lives in two worlds at once. It is deeply, privately yours, a reflex cooling the machine inside your head. And it is completely shared, a thread of empathy that stitches you to everyone you have ever loved. You cannot fully control it. You cannot fully explain it. And you certainly cannot stop it from spreading. So think back to the beginning, to that first pull you felt when this video started. It was never really about being tired, it was your ancient brain doing two of the oldest things a brain can do. Cooling itself for the challenge ahead, and reaching silently for everyone around you. All it took was the word, and your body, wiser and older than you know, quietly answered for you.